Okay, so leaving our place, turn right and turn right again. Come up to this main road here. This is where we catch the bus often to go to school. Cross the street and we head up towards Busasan Mountain. Along this stretch, there's often big tents set up on the weekends with vendors selling all kinds of produce and stuff. Coming up to here, the gate, one of the main gates for Busasan Mountain. Crossing, and this is kind of the entrance to the mountain. Climb up, and it's massive up here, but I'm only going to show a small little chunk of it. Up here, across all the way through and back down, and I'm going to go out this other. So this is another entrance that people can come up, another ticket office. On the left hand side there's a museum, an old museum that they don't really use anymore. There's a newer one in town. Coming up to the same main street that I crossed earlier, further down. Through, this is more the downtown area now. Coming through, passing a couple ajumas on a morning walk. I'm going to hang a left right here, past one of our banks. There's many of those NH banks. Through the market area, a small chunk of the market. And it's very early morning, so there's not too much going on in town, which is kind of nice because this gets very, very busy and congested. And then crossing that is the express bus terminal and all the buses in the back. And this is a nice new stretch that they've recently renovated and added these beautiful arches. And all along here, new brickwork on the ground and renovated shops. And then back through, crossing the street, and I'm going to start heading towards my school. I teach at Buyeo Boys Middle School. So one of my 4 schools that I teach at is up here, and this is my regular walk to school now. So along here on the left hand side there's a very old pagoda, like a national treasure, and we haven't been in there yet to check it out, but you can kind of see over this fence there, stone fence, and this is the entrance to my school. So coming up Buyeo Boys Middle School, you can see on the right they're playing soccer on the field. And coming up and around, I teach my office in schools, their classrooms are down at that far end. Cafeteria is on the right hand side here. Coming back through and back out to the main road. And now we're going to head up. So continuing down here, across another main street, and now we're heading down, all the way down to Chungnam ponds. It's pretty neat. We come down here not terribly frequently, but one of the best public washrooms is right there on the left. It's beautiful. Sometimes in this parking lot they do exercises. They bring in a big speaker. You can see this is gorgeous. It's all starting to grow up. So these are lotus leaf plants, and they start growing, I guess, in the spring, and apparently they'll be taller than us by the end of the summer, by the end of the season. So coming through here, there's just endless paths around little ponds, and people, a huge swing, just past a huge swing on the left you can see. And on the right hand side there's a bridge that leads out to another big pavilion. It's beautiful. In there they have stocked it with tons of big fish, and there's turtles in there as well, frogs everywhere. But you can see these plants, they'll all be taller than us in a couple more months. So it'll be like a maze, you won't be able to see across. But it gets pretty busy on the weekends. There's a big festival coming up in about a month's time in July in this park that apparently is a huge tourist attraction, so that'll be interesting to see, a festival of sorts. And I'm going to head back out here. On the left hand side is one of our favorite cafes, 276. This backs out. There's a patio on the back of the cafe that looks out over Chungnam, which is very nice. So coming up here, we don't come through this part of town very often. There's not much out here, but it's going to take us up towards the bridge to cross the river and head to the other side. So there's not much going on here. It's kind of the outskirts of town around one of the sides. It's nice though, you can see it's never really all that busy in the morning. So I'm going to come across the street, get on the sidewalk here, head over, and this is our coming up here on the side here is a nice stretch. I love running this stretch of this sidewalk, I guess, because this is all cushioned here, so it's like soft. It's exactly 800 meters across this bridge, and it's just great for running because it's nice and soft and it's not as hard on the legs after a while. So I come out here and I run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on my runs. So all the way across this bridge, Chungnam River. And there's another bridge not too far down on the left of this, another maybe kilometer or so down for crossing, but it's more of a highway type bridge. So underneath the bridge and up the other side, this whole next stretch, I guess, is just nice walking path. We've walked this a few times now. To walk it takes maybe 2 hours if we were going to do a full loop around. So this is on the other side of the river of where we live across, and it's just nice for biking and running and walking. There's paths absolutely everywhere. Coming down and around, we kind of go away from the river, but we'll connect back to the river here in a second along this stretch. Again, as you can see, it's never busy. This is early morning, but it's never very busy along here. Some people's homes. And coming back up towards the river now. So you can kind of see in the distance the other side. We're going to pop out here and down towards the river. Getting closer to the river. We never really get back to the river, but this is just a nice spot to run and walk. The ground gets really nice up here, nicely paved. Perfect for cycling, nice and smooth. And so we're just going to continue all the way down. So this will take us back to another bridge. I guess the one I crossed is in the middle of the main 3 bridges in town, and this far one is the one we cross often if we're walking up to the Lute Outlet Mall. Normally we go there to eat at Elena Garden Buffet, which is a little bit of Western food, lots of salads and stuff, and relatively inexpensive. During the week it's about $11. On the weekend it's about $17 with a few more options. But we like to go during the week. Normally once a week, sometimes more than once a week, but try to keep it to once a week. We justify it by walking there and back, and not taking a cab. So the taxi ride itself, I think, is $7 or $8, $7,000 or $8,000 and then so we save $15, $16 that way, and we walk off some of the calories, which is important to us. So continuing all the way to here, there's some cool little things set up there on the right hand side for people to come with mobile homes and kind of hook up, and there's some little trailer type buildings set up on wheels for showers and cooking facilities and stuff, which is kind of neat. And here's the bridge, so I'm going to come up and around, hop on the bridge. Get on here, cross this bridge. So this is a stretch that we often walk quite frequently, at least once a week, twice a week. We walk this. The rest of this stretch home is kind of a common walking stretch. And you can see down there they have it set up. There's lots of kayaking canoes. People are often kayaking down there, which is kind of neat. They have lanes set up and everything, so there must be competitions at some point in the season. We've seen some people down there training. Crossing here, and we're going to connect onto this path. So this is the main path that takes you like hundreds of kilometers. You can go, it's about, I think from here it'd probably be about 60 some kilometers from here this direction to Gunsan or to Kumgong Aqueduct, which is like on the coast. So all the way out to the coast, or going the opposite direction. I believe it's maybe 80k the opposite direction to take you to Daejeon. And then there's trails, there's a few bike paths, I think 4 bike paths like this that basically connect the entire country. I mean, South Korea is relatively small, but you can go pretty much anywhere. So back out onto the road, and coming up here on the left-hand side, this on the left you see a hotel. That's where Julie and I stayed the first 2 nights we were in Buyeo while we kind of switched our apartment situation around. And cycling all the way up here. Kind of a recycling garbage facility there on the right. And then coming up and turning right, Julia's school here is on the left-hand side. So we'll pop in there and take a quick tour. She's got this suite, see on the right, on the left-hand side here, this is a massive pool, 50-lane pool, which I'm pumped to see. It's under renovations now, but it'll be open in the next month, hopefully, month and a half. So Julia's school, the yard, like the track and the schoolyard, coming back up. And past the front of it again, some deliveries were going on, early morning deliveries. Coming back out. Her cafeteria is on the left-hand side there, coming back out. And this is actually, across is Buyeo Elementary School, which is a massive elementary school. And this is part of Julia's walk now to commute to school and home every day, or, 3 days a week. And our gym is right there, dead straight ahead. And this is, again, the main road coming up. So our grocery store is this kind of greenish building on the left we go to often, or on the right now. And continuing up, DC Mart there on the left. We do some shopping there. It's kind of like a giant tiger, like a small store. Kia dealership, Hyundai gas station coming up. Library will be on the right-hand side. And almost home, hang a left here, and we are pretty much back home.